But you had a funny story you wanted to share.
I did an appearance on the Get My Go show last week, and they parody some dude's podcast, right? And I met this guy. He's just a guy. He's just a mark with a podcast, right? But it's the insanity behind the stories that this guy has. I basically had to come in and give some clarity to some of the goings on.
I need to listen because I'm having trouble following this story. But I think
so. All right. So there's this dude, right? He has his name's John. The guy's obsessed with talking about numbers, right? The numbers here, charting this and that, blah blah blah. But in reality, nobody listens to his podcast, right? Nobody listens to it.
What about you, Jeff? You got any shout outs?
I do got one. Mr. Mike Durband got me the hookup. The official Get My Go t-shirt.
Oh, God. He wouldn't dare send me that t-shirt. He wouldn't dare to send that to me, bro.
So thank you.
So they're still doing the Get My Go show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ben was on there this week.
Oh, you vey.
I know everybody knew already, but I am a blatant homosexual.
You know, I like Jeff, you know, to believe he's my friend, but sometimes I have to drop the hammer on Jeff, like where in the who go. What's the name of that show again?
Get My Go.
Yeah, well, I don't want any more promoting on this show of Get My Go.
We shut it down on our show too. As a matter of fact, we told Nick Aldis mentioned it on our show.
You know, that really gets my goat.
Oh boy!
And we told him he's banned from the show if he ever does that again.
I'm shutting that down. I'm shutting that down. And I'm having a long talk with Ben Hameen.
Why did he do that show?
I don't. Sympathy?
In the episode that they were reviewing, it was a parody. They called it a parody. It was brutal of castrating the marks, and then they threw Master Shoot Theater in the middle of it. So then they were doing Ben Hameen. It was hideous. It was terrible. So they had Ben on there to listen to that.
Nice.
Somebody needs to screenshot this and send this to Durband and let him know I'm promoting Get My Go on my Twitch stream.
But he started feuds with everybody across podcasting. Everyone from Joe Feeney, who we sent to this show to Creative Control, the Russo brand, you know, all these folks across board. He just was feuding with everyone. And I met him at a show in Virginia. He was trying to get a podcast with Dan Severin off the ground, right?
Okay.
It was terrible, but I was there for their first ever meeting, and it was basically like, you know, like a meet and greet style, and that was the basis of their first ever interaction. So I had to give some clarity to the story. I just want people to go check it out if you haven't. It's very funny, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It's called Get My Go.
This game's kind of boring so far. Really gets my go.
Bro, do you have any comments on the last guest on what is it, bro? Go get him.
Get My Go.
Did you?
Ben Hameen was on it, right?
Ben Hameen. I have to have a talk with him, bro.
What are these guys doing? I mean, these guys, bro. The whole thing is they're good. That John Wangling guy that like he buried you on a podcast, right?
Right.
So these guys have decided that they're going to go after, like, this guy. Jeff Lane was insulted about and they're going after this guy. Like, bro, you're making this guy more popular,
bro. Jeff, what is it? Get My Go. Jeff wore a Get My Go t-shirt on castrating the marks last night, bro.
Did he really?
Yeah. I'm like, you guys, we got to reevaluate.
Yeah, definitely reevaluation.
I like men. I've always liked men, and I don't feel bad about it.
Bro, you know what I was just noticing? I went on my Twitter, and there was a tweet on there promoting Conan's Patreon. I retweet it because I want to give Conan, give you guys the advertising, the publicity as much as I can. Bro, how come I never see that favor returned?
I'm not going to spam my Twitter followers with your retweeting every single thing you retweet every day. That's not how I work.
But yet you retweet Get Your Go.
Glenn, I want to formally invite you to Get My Go.
I'm not
Will you ever join us on the show?
Absolutely not. I don't listen to the John Wangler show. Don't care. So I would be absolutely not interested in Get My Go at all.
If we changed our format a little bit, you recommended that we attack Alyssa Milano and those kind of people.
I don't care what you guys do. It's just like I just am not supporting Get My Go. It's like I'm not supporting the show about the guy, the John Wagley guy's like it's ridiculous. So if you find another podcast that talked about something that interests me, I'd be interested. But other than that, no. We bury Get My Go. We bury that show every week. As a matter of fact, Nick Aldis came on the show and said something really gets his go, and Conan kazooed him. Freaking threatened to ban him from the show if he puts over Get My Go again. Okay. So anybody that we have on the show knows not to reference Get My Go because they will be banned. But a lot of great content, guys.
I want to mention too. Every time we bury Get My Go, I get an email from Mike Durband thanking us for mentioning the show. So we're putting it over by burying it. I just want you to know. And Mike thanks us every time.
And I'm very happy to be gay. You all knew I was gay before, but now I can say it. I'm fucking gay.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? If you think you get my go to that, man, he gets my go, this kid, man. He gets my go.
So that's it. The Odyssey of John and Dan in Virginia, man. That's been a red herring on the show for a while. Or not a red herring. You know what the fuck I mean. But now we want to get to Durband's favorite subject. I know he loves hearing about this guy and getting some more knowledge about this. And we're going to have some clips to play. This is going to be an absolute fucking delight. Yeah. So to go back, you encounter Chris because you get the message from John saying, hey, could you do me a favor for some reason and do an interview with this guy? You guys helped him through some tough times.
And Chad, which I don't know if you've heard my story, I was dealing with a very bad bout of depression, which led me to me literally hanging myself. Thankfully, by the grace of God, like the paramedics, like they came in time. I was in a nut house like for 3 days, and then literally 2 or 3 days after I got out, the first podcast that I ever listened to was yours.
You're a little befuddled because you don't exactly do like an inspirational show. You're like, well, what was my interview with Lanny Poffo that saved your life? I don't understand.
Yeah, it was a good one though. It was good.
Of course it was. So the interview with Chris happens, and then what goes on from there? Because it's clear that these guys overextend, right? Mm-hmm. Like just because you and I have each other's contact information, I'm not just going to text you and go, hey, how was your lunch? You know, that's not, it's just not what you do. But these guys, they immediately think someone's their friend or they want to be friends with them.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, how often does Chris harass you with everyday inanities? If it's
I stopped responding to the messages regularly. I mean, I do respond still with like, oh, thanks, dude, or hey man, appreciate it. Because again, I get a lot of messages about people either wanting to get into podcasting or people who listen to the show and they want to connect or whatever. And I just give them the same old appreciate it. Thanks a lot, dude. Keep up the good work. That kind of stuff. Sure. But I was getting the, hey, brother Chad, how's it going? Blah, 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 all that stuff. And I'm just like, I no offense, I don't have time for it. Yeah, I work for a major broadcasting company, okay? Mm-hmm. So I really don't have the time to sit there and nurse everybody that messages me all the time.
Yes.
But they were hot and heavy after the interview, and they've really gone down because I stopped. I really didn't respond to anything.
Yeah.
Hey there, Chad, man. Can I ask you for a favor? Can you block Chris Martin live on the air?
I don't want to do that right this second, but I will.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I kept it open because I've been waiting for somebody to tag me in something, being like, "Oh, I can't believe you're going on Get My Go." I can't believe it, because when you tweeted it out, I was waiting for it.
Yeah. Because I want to.
He must not have seen it because it would have broke his heart.
Yeah. I've retweeted it. I've retweeted it twice. and I even thought too when we moved the Francine show, the audio portion of the show to Creative Control the last couple of weeks, I thought that was going to be the first one too. I thought I would be getting a message from one of those two guys. I don't want it. So if you listen to this, I don't want it. Just please, please. But
one of the things I got to say is back when I was in the good graces of the Reality Check guys, John and Martin and Rob, when they were on that channel, the one thing they do is they tag you in everything, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You get tagged in everything. And I can't tell you how many times I hit mute this conversation, or if it was on Facebook, I would remove the tag. I don't even go on Facebook for anything wrestling or podcast related. but still, I would get tagged on Facebook endlessly.
Yeah,
and
and
it's just like, stop.
And Elton John Wangland tags people in replies. So even if you already say, "Hey John, how's it going?" he'll go, "I'm great at the Mike Durband show." It's like, what are you tagging me for, you dumb straight fucker?
I just
learn how to use technology.
I guess it's been going on for a long time, but I more so noticed it recently. Is that unfortunately for you, you get tagged in every inane event in this guy's life, apparently. I'm taking the wife out. We're watching the first Borat. We're whatever. We're going to be homeless. Whatever he usually tweets out about, you know?
Yeah.
And somehow you're in there among Big Vito and Vito's wife and whatever. And you know what? That fucker, Mike, the other day, how he took a shot at Russo on the show. Oh, I used to be a Russo guy. Cocksucker's wearing a Vince Russo shirt in his latest picture.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. I forgot to mention this quick little thing, and we'll continue with what we're talking. That was how I kind of distanced myself from them, from John especially, was because, you know, I heard about the rant that he did about Vince Russo about 2 weeks after I did the interview with him, and when I was talking about where the baseball show was going to go, I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, I can't come on your network because of what you're saying about the brand, because, and no offense, like, I'm on the brand. I don't want any kind of mixed company." And at that point, you know, I had assumed that Francine would be going to the brand at some point as well. And I was like, I just want nothing to do with any of this, because why? I don't feel like it was relevant to anything. Unless he wanted to be on the brand and got turned down, I don't feel like it was relevant.
Not relevant. It wasn't helpful. In no way was it a stepping stone or a building block. It was like, it's like I said on this show before, within like a 4-week period, he lost Severn, he lost Vampiro, he put out Castrating the Bros and all.
Yeah.
And it was like, just bam, you guys are dead. You're fucking dead in the water.
It was around the time I was talking in there.
And that's, I warned them on Twitter at that time, or I kind of, you know, smugly noted, I was like, this shit will be done by spring. It's not going to happen, you know?
People just need to take the hint that not all networks are trying to sign everyone.
Yeah, you know,
exactly.
I mean, sometimes you're just happy with what you got, unless there's special circumstances, like why would I turn down a Francine show? She's got a name, you know, the show comes to me wrapped up and ready, and basically we just needed
a home for the audio, because that was why with the brand, I mean, there was no ill will leaving the brand, because obviously I'm still doing Triple Threat there. It was just that Francine was feeling we were confusing people joining our Patreon who were looking for Eyes Up Here, but Vince had moved it to his Patreons, and we're telling people sign up for 2 Patreons, and they were kind of getting confused. So we just needed a home for the audio, because the brand doesn't need the audio, they need the video. So it made sense.
At some point.
Plus, everybody fucking lost years of their life whacking off to Francine without mercy back in the day. So why not?
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to this little clip that I've selected for us here today. This is tremendous.
And I'm gonna let the guests speak a lot, but I as you're supposed to do as a podcaster, John. But man, this guy has irritated the balls off me lately. So you are probably gonna see me. I don't usually get too angry on here, but I fucking hate this guy right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say is rest in peace to Brother Martin's grandmother. She passed last week. We're not going to joke about that, of course. So Brother Martin did a beautiful 45-minute tribute to his grandmother. He told stories of when he was a kid. He told stories about his grandma's upbringing and how she raised him, you know, at certain points of his life. It was touching. It was a really nice episode. And then the motherfucker just has to ruin it.
I do have a question on that. Now,
go ahead.
Does this also tests grandmother? Because as we know, Chris Martin claims to be related to Andrew Test Martin and the Canadian WWE superstar. I don't know how that works, and no one's ever seen any proof or heard any proof. But I mean, that's like me saying that the Joe Feeney that we saw in the YouTube links there, the old singer from the 50s. Yeah, it's my grandfather. I don't have any pictures.
I thought it was Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World. He was from Philly, so I thought it was him too.
Yeah. So yeah, I was listening to this episode. I'm like, I'm hoping maybe he'll tell a story about, you know, Thanksgiving 1993 when, you know, him and cousin Andrew were at Grandma's house. But there was no mention of cousin Andrew Martin. He did mention that he watched wrestling with his grandpa, but no mention of Test at all in this episode.
Strange.
Very strange. But
so you were saying he was doing a beautiful tribute to his grandmother, and then it takes the left turn.
It takes a fucking left turn. Of course, then he has to radically change directions and take shots at us or Get My Go viewers or, various parody accounts like the Martin's Hair. What's the one? What's it called? Brother Martin's Hair, Girl Hair.
Charlatan Martino.
Yeah, so he's taking shots at those, and then he gets fucking vile.
And he takes shots at us, yeah?
I don't think he names us, but
that picture.
Yeah.
That picture gets me every time.
So then he gets real vile, and he brings up his wife, and I can't even describe
So did
it.
the circus.
You just have to hear it.
Because it's freaking old and it's goddamn sad and it's pathetic. And by the way, that's partially why in high school I started to develop a pain pill issue because of people making fun of me.
Because you fucking deserved it. Some people get picked on because they're victims. Other people get picked on because they deserve it. Everything about you. Who the fuck gets bullied at school and then grows up to say, you know what I should do? Grow my hair the same as all the women in the world. This fucking arsehole. And if you're going to, listen, you can have one or two flaws. If you're going to talk like a fucking creaky chair, if you're going to fucking look like Philip Seymour Hoffman, that's okay. But you can't then also decide to develop a transsexual's hairstyle.
Here's another flaw and another Blansky. Oh, I was on pain pills because people were mean to me. No, that's not how it works, dude.
Yeah. If people are mean to you, you call them cunts, and that's how it ends. Instead, you just took it like a girl with long hair.
Now I kind of understand, though, because you know what pain pill addicts really enjoy doing? Faking injuries to get access to more drugs.
Yeah, and if anything, all this does is back up the theory that sometimes bullies are right.
By the grace of God, I've gained wisdom since then, and I've grown up a lot since then.
But I wish that by the grace of God, he could gain some podcasting equipment. Where the fuck did he record this? In the Grand Canyon?
Please keep in mind that words hurt people whether you realize it or not. There's a reaction to your actions and there's a reaction to your words. And to the people out there that can't seem to stop talking about my hair, once again, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. You're just jealous because you don't have it.
What the fuck, man?
Well, first of all, the reason why we talk about your hair is because if you look at the photographs that you use of your wife that you put a filter on because you don't like how her face looks and not in nature, you and your wife have the same hairstyle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we make fun of you. And it's the fact that it's 2020 and you still have fucking Def Leppard roadie hairstyle. And we can see that you're going bald on top. So that's what makes it look even worse. You look like you're dressed up as somebody for Halloween.
And I don't give a damn what you got to say because guess what? I'm the one, the stuttering fool that you want to make fun of that's got a hot fucking wife. Beautiful kids.
Okay, I'd rather stick my dick in a vat of boiling Freddie Mercury's blood than go anywhere near his fucking wife. And he knows that too. And the reason why she's with him is not because all girls dream of some yellow-teethed, fat, bald, receding hair, stuttering drug addict.
Walmart greeter.
It's because he's the last option.
Yeah.
And I would assume that girl, Owen Wilson or whatever her name is the last and only option he's ever had. So he was like,
oh yeah,
I'll raise your kids, and you can't then say that you don't care about what people say about you because as soon as you talk about it, you fucking care. These people, they can't not make themselves look bad. If you don't care about what we're saying, then you don't acknowledge it. And why the fuck is he talking about this in an episode about his grandmother? What a fucking insult to his own family. He's fucking pathetic.
So he closed it out with this?
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
He did the whole episode and closed it out with come dialing back in the bathtub to this.
Yeah, it's like
why even bring it up? Why talk about your wife? Leave your wife out of it. Let's stop implicating her.
I was wrong.
He did talk about her once when he mentioned that she had some type of a cunt infection.
Yeah, he did do that.
Jesus.
No, I was wrong. He did a full hour about his grandma, and then the last 10 minutes are about this stuff. So,
oh my gosh,
it gets worse. It gets worse. Here we go.
And I got that hot smoking fox that lives with me, that's married to me, that's been with me for 10 years, that rides my dick.
All right, talks about their wife like that.
Can you imagine if he told like his cousins and his other relatives, "Hey, I did an episode about grandma. I'd really like you to listen to it. We can talk about stories and stuff." And then they have to hear this fucking
I actually
shit.
I have more like sympathy and pity for her now than any other person on the planet, to be honest with you. Like, this is, first off, if you're so proud of this relationship and your wife and 10 years and this and that, you're so proud of it. How about you get a fucking job where you're not scared of leaving your wife and your kids fucking homeless? How about that? That's a start. You don't
2 jobs or 3 jobs.
Yeah, get another job, dude.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do. Literally brand it somewhere.
Yes. And don't beg. Just, I mean, dude, anyone with half a brain and 2 feet can get a job driving a forklift for $15 an hour somewhere to start. Yeah. You know, you choose to be lazy as fuck and work at Walmart and hang out in the plant department and record little videos. Yeah. That's why you guys almost lost your place. So if you love her so much, why don't you step it up a little bit before she leaves you for one of your friends, which is probably already in the works.
Yeah, if he genuinely believes that his wife looks at him and is attracted to him, then maybe he has CTE along with the receding hairline. Maybe that's why he's got that bald spot, because one of John Wanglin's balls fell so hard from above him and cracked him. Yeah, I wouldn't. In my opinion, I wouldn't call her sexy. And the reason why I wouldn't say that is because Martin doesn't think that himself. If you're putting filters over her face to cover up her flaws, there's the problem.
And if she's such a smoking fox, what year is this? I would like to understand, and if you're such a loving husband and father, why you would set up days where you would kick them out of the house so you could just watch porn for 8 hours straight.
Oh my God.
How good do you have it with her? How much do you love her, and how great's the sex even? If you're just gonna fucking watch porn all day after you get rid of your family that you claim to love so much, it's fucking creepy.
Who talks about their wife like that?
It's true too.
That's the. I've been with my wife. I've been married for 12. I've been with her for 21 years. Okay, going back to high school. Who talks about their wife like that? That's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
That to me is the most like offensive thing of the whole thing. Who talks about their wife like that?
Yeah. It's funny because early in the recording here, he says, something about high school, and then he says something about how he's grown up. Yet here he is talking about his wife like he's a fucking high schooler just got laid for the first time. She's riding my dick.
I mean,
Can you imagine, like,
God Almighty.
Imagine if like his kids, when they're teenagers or they're grown up, and they want to hear about great grandma Martin. So they go to listen to one of Dad's old episodes, and then at the end of it, he's talking about how Mom rides Dad's dick like that. Come on.
Yeah, and the thing, and he says that they listen to Get My Go and that they're in tears because of how we talk about him. It's like, well, let's hear how his family thinks of him talking about his wife like an object, which she is, one that you use to keep the door closed.
Hot smoking fox that lives with me, that's married to me, that's been with me for 10 years, that rides my dick while pulling my hair.
Yeah, because it's
so guess what?
In your head.
I highly doubt that you guys can say the same thing. So,
I mean, what the fuck?
What that his wife doesn't pull our hair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
I wouldn't let her fucking touch my hair. And how would my dick would go nearer the fucking the middle of the microwave before it would go near her? Like, she's an unattractive woman. That's the best way to put it. Like, she's on my list of never go nears.
But don't worry. She won't be with him for much longer. I mean, that's just a fact. Like, you don't keep a wife if you're working at Walmart and she's terrified of not having a place to stay, or, women like security. Guy, here's a free lesson for you, and feeling safe and whatnot, or at least, women used to. I don't know what they do now. I don't.
Well, at least his job is safe during the pandemic.
That's true. But
now that that's cleared up, to the people out there that want to take every single thing that me and John say literal, for the love of God, get a fucking life. Because honestly, we're not claiming to have millions of downloads. That's a joke. We're just kidding. Like, we're laughing at ourselves. We do.
Right. Again, nobody ever said millions of downloads. We know, and we've seen the proof, and we've been told by the people at fucking Spreaker and Blue Chew that John Wangland was caught getting thousands of downloads. That's the thing. It's not an accusation. It's like saying that fucking Chad's wearing a hat. He is.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad, I accuse you of wearing a hat.
How dare you?
I want to go back to the marriage thing, because I don't know where, like, he's going off like maybe the wrestling fan stereotype, like, oh, you dorks aren't getting laid. But like Chad said, married 12 years, whatever. I've been married 9 or some shit. No, wait. I've been with her 9, married 6. You know, Hughezy, I don't know what he does. I know he's banging some broad. I don't know if she's still the girlfriend or what the title is now. Durband's playing the field. Rob's married.
Yeah, dude, he takes shots at me all the time. Oh, you're not even married. Bro, just because I'm not married, don't make any assumptions, my friend, okay?
Yeah, dude, like, what the fuck? And
Durband's fucking lucky. I almost fucking used the ashtray on a certain somebody last weekend, and I really I was full on agreeing with Benoit for a 12-hour period.
Yeah.
And furthermore, not to cast light on anybody, but being married doesn't necessarily translate to having sex all the time. So stop talking about being married like you're Hugh Hefner in fucking 65, dude. Jesus Christ.
And you don't talk about your wife like that. I don't care on what platform. I don't care who it is. You know, you don't talk about your wife like that, because what if your wife, what if it implicates something with her? You know what I mean? Like, you don't, maybe she doesn't want that information out there. Yeah. But I don't know.
Like Hughezy said, he said much more egregious, disgusting personal things for some reason about her.
But she clearly doesn't listen to his show. She just waits for his Walmart big bucks to come in so that they can buy the next microwavable pizza.
Oh, $2.95 a week. Woo.
Okay. So they did their reading mean tweets episode last week. Now he's trying to pretend like people were mad about it or people got offended by it. Nobody got offended by it. The only thing that we were offended by, it was just a poorly conceived, unfunny, uncreative episode. So here's his description.
And for the people out there that can't get it through their heads that the little segment that me and John do, like with the mean tweets, is where we're having fun and we're not being serious, but yet like you're taking it personal.
I wonder if the voices in his head are any less irritating than the tone that I'm hearing.
Well, no one was offended, except I think I was called fat and maybe a cuck.
Cuck boy.
What does that mean? Like,
I don't think they know what that means.
No, they don't know what that means. Does that? I guess because I'm married. No, married's good. So what does it even make sense? Yeah. You know, and
Durband sent me the tweet of him telling someone that of Martin telling someone that he gets congratulated on his hair and work. It's like, yes, that's because they think you're a special needs boy. Like, good for you. Did you brush your hair all by yourself? He's like, why, yes, I did.
But
you got any pills?
You got any pills? The hypocrisy, of course, lies in how many times John has said, I'm never bringing this up again. Yeah. This is bullshit. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not responding, blah, blah, blah. Chris says the same shit. We don't need to talk about these guys ever again. And they continuously do it because otherwise nobody cares that they fucking exist or release anything unless it's involving this subject. And that's the way it's been since it started. Yeah. That's the only way people would listen to them. And
the thing is, and he'll put out an episode like this and they'll still claim that it's a hugely successful podcast. People don't know who the fuck we are. So, like, I would assume they get no bigger downloads than we do Get My Go viewers, which one of them just passed 1,000 views, by the way. Yeah, fucking bunch of cunts.
Yep. And, sorry, it was me watching it over and over.
Plus, the other stereotype is like, you guys, you know, if this is all you have to focus on, you're sad and pathetic. No, it's an hour and a half or whatever a week where we're having the fucking greatest time because you guys are so fucking stupid and mockable. It's a fucking laugh. And I will invite Chris to do this. And of course, being public, he can't make violent threats. But I would just invite him to repeat what he said about me on the show in person. You know, maybe we'll see each other at a convention or something. And then I will let my wife beat your ass because she could.
Yeah, but see, that wouldn't be fair because with his back and his hair, he would catch AIDS.
It's called Get a Life, Get a Sense of Humor. And if you think yourself that important to where you get offended, then I feel bad for you because you need to get a fucking mirror and realize that you're no better than me and I'm no better than you.
I'm way better than you are at every level.
I'm 100% better than you.
Yeah, I'm fucking richer, got more hair, taller. My hair's way better than your Owen Wilson looking fucking filtered face hair cunt.
Mm-hmm.
My one didn't have somebody else's fucking bastard kid before I met her.
Oh, it's not his kids either. Oh boy,
I don't know. Either way, he makes me uncomfortable being around him because it's a grown man with a woman's hairstyle
and a porn addiction.
Because if you can't laugh at yourself, then you shouldn't be allowed to laugh at others. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thanks so much for letting me get this stuff off my chest. I'm glad to be back. And you can check me out on the weekly wrestling review show on Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops. You can check me out on the weekly football review show with Mr. Johnny Wangland. And you can check me out on Twitter at IamCHM911 and via email at IamCHM911@gmail.com. And if you would, please check out one of my good friends, Mr. Big Vito LaGrasso. Please check out his podcast.
Brother Martin, let me tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you this again. I've told you multiple times. When you think that you're interacting with Big Vito on Twitter and Facebook, you're not. It's his wife. It's well known that Vito doesn't have any idea how to use social media. It's his wife, and you think it's him, but it's not, my friend.
Yeah, wrestlers, podcasters aren't your friend. I've spoken to Disco Inferno at least 100 separate times. I've spoken to Vince Russo at least 50 times. We're not fucking friends. Me and Conan are, but me and Vince and Disco aren't.
The Big Vito brand, and one of my favorite podcasts is called Getting Color. And please check out some other wonderful podcasts. So thank you so much, guys. God bless you and have a safe, blessed, joyous week.
Sounded like there was an edit there, right? It sounded like Johnny Podcasting might have taken out the two-man power trip.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was bracing myself because that's exactly what I thought he was going to say. Because the Big Vito one, literally, it sent a shiver like down my spine that he mentioned that. And I'm trying to figure out why, but it was bracing myself that was what it was about to be.
Yeah, so Johnny finally learned how to edit, and he edited out Chad's podcast. Okay. All right, that's it.
Oh my gosh! I thought somebody was about to jump in front of that truck.
I thought that was him blow drying his long, luxurious hairs.
Chris, from the bottom of my heart, dude. Fuck you. You suck. You fucking suck at everything. It's this newfound smugness that's really going to get you buried because you're out of your fucking mind. If you think anyone gives a shit about you, you're recording. If you think you've insulted anyone. And oh my God, dude, I can't. I'm getting all fucking ramped up here. But Chad has something to say. So.
Yeah, I wanted to leave this as my closing comment, and it's what has just drawn me to the show, because I think it was Dean. Somebody mentioned that it's in the vein of like Opie and Anthony Jocktober. Okay, and I studied under the Opie and Anthony tree for many, many years. Mm-hmm. I've worked for Howard Stern. I've been around this kind of radio my whole life, so I see the way you guys put the show together is brilliant. But what I also see is people playing podcasts. Okay, it's role play. It's like people who dress up and go to conventions dressed up like a Marvel hero. It's people pretending to be a podcaster. Podcasting, the people who do well at it are the people that have a natural talent or they have a broadcasting background. If you don't, I just have to give you the advice of just leave it to the people that kind of know what they're doing and put out regular content and try to think outside the box. I wouldn't waste 5 seconds of my life to download that show or any other kind of wrestling review show that didn't have somebody that was drawing me to listen. And I just hearing everything, plain podcast, and it is so frustrating. Just stop mentioning this group. Stop mentioning your wife. Just stop. It just needs to end. It is horrible to have to listen to this.
All right, Chad. Well, we can't thank you enough for coming on. Get My Go. Where can we find you? Give us all your shows and your social media.
Oh boy, I take the big deep breath in when I do this because this is the long part. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at ChadEMB. I also have an Instagram account. It's at ChadEMB. I don't really do much on there. I don't really get it. It's not really my forte. I spend a lot of time with my wife, so it's not sticking stuff in places. So I don't really know the Instagram. That's not really my thing. Yeah, so if you want to find out more about my podcast, look, you can go to tmptempire.com. There, it's all the interview podcasts in our history that JP, my partner, is just completely dominating, and he's got a bunch of other shows that we've added to the network, as well as now I do a review show called The New Generation Declassified, where we look at shows, moments, whatever, from the new generation years that people basically forgot about.
Yeah.
You know, it's a time that kind of was lost. The business was in the toilet. But on top of that, I have a show called Diamond Conversations on the Place to Be Nation podcast network. It's a baseball interview show. I have different major leaguers coming on from past, present, and future, talking about their careers, talking about other stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool if you're a baseball fan. Also, I do Eyes Up Here, which is on Francine's Patreon. It's patreon.com/Francine Podcast. Our audio is now part of the Creative Control Network, so you can catch that a little bit later on in the week. And then how can I forget about the brand, the Triple Threat Podcast every single week with the franchise, Shane Douglas and JP. We basically just sit there and sit under the learning tree of the franchise. And sometimes he comes out with some zingers, and sometimes he comes out with some stuff that reiterates why he is who he is. And that's on the Russo brand. And for my autograph stuff, if you want to go to ibexclusives.com, I do a lot of just different private autograph signings. And if you're looking for a gift for somebody, you're looking for something cool, come on over there. And I appreciate you guys. I really have enjoyed what you've done.
Yeah, thanks very much for coming on. You spent some time with us here on a Saturday, which means we all have no lives or families or social.
Apple picking coming up next.
Start pre-gaming for my birthday party.
Oh, right.
But yeah, thanks a lot, man. And of course, follow everything Chad's up to. Check out Eyes Up Here on Patreon and Creative Control Network, all the two-man power trip stuff. And there you go. Yeah.
But the first thing I want to say is that with Keeping It 100, mine and Conan's show that also features Disco on the side, whatever, we're giving him the rub.
What the fuck?
There's a lot of emails coming in to the show and to the Raven Effect show, which is the other show I'll soon be hosting soon.
It's not. I never heard that.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be speaking right now. So there's a lot of show references. So I think what would be fun or funny is that if people email into other podcasts and kind of attack them, so to speak, or should I say invade with show references, by getting them, the host to say "Get My Go," all that shit. But if you do that, and then you could then let us know so that we could clip it, and by we I meant Durband, so he can do all the effort while the rest of us take the credit.
Yeah, try to hit if Cornette's mailbag.
Cornette, if you could get Cornette, that's like that would be the number
Get
one.
My Go.
Yeah.
What in the fuck
is Get My Go?
What other shows do mailbags?
Arn Anderson.
Arn, and then various Conrad shows. Once in a while they'll do.
Arn does one every other week.
Pritchard, Bischoff, they all do Ask Anything.
Shane
basically, any podcast you can find or listen to, or internet show or whatever, if you can get a message sent in that references Get My Go and tag us, send it to us, so that we'll probably not thank you, but we will use the clip on the air.
And if anyone,
we will thank you. I will thank you. You will get a proper shout out
if anyone can get a Get My Go T-shirt or sign on the WWE Thunderdome. I will personally send you a $25 Amazon gift card.
Wow.
How about that? And one thing I did want to close with, now that we're talking about this and it was brought up, you may have heard. I don't know. I might be breaking news here. You guys may have heard or seen that legitimate. Tremendous pro wrestler, NWA world champion, even Nick Aldis was on Keeping It 100 with Conan, and he dropped Get My Go without any provocation. I've never spoken to him.
Hey, I just want to say real quick that that really gets my goat.
Oh God, please do that, Tony.
Wait a second, Nick. I didn't think I would want to do this to you ever because you're so cool, but
Wow. I just booked him for the show. I didn't know he knew about the show. I didn't know shit. And he dropped the Get My Go, much to Conan's consternation. That's a tremendous word. I don't know if I used it right. And so he dropped it, and I just wanted to say that will not be the last time that you hear a televised pro wrestler with a big name use that reference, or in fact wear a T-shirt, or in fact maybe even a hat. So it's not going to take emails into shows to hear Get My Go. These guys are going to start doing it on their own, because believe me, after we wrapped up recording, I heard made very clear and plain that Nick listens to or watches Get My Go, and that he said he knows guys in every wrestling locker room that follow this show. So your legacy now, John, is not exactly what you planned on it being. You are now a joke in every wrestling locker room that exists today. So congratulations on that. And congratulations to us.
Yes.
Wow.
And you're welcome to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, whether you're driving a Pinto or driving a Mercedes, I'm sad to announce, but Wally World, better known as Walmart, is now closed. If you would, please bring your fine purchases to the front, not to the back, because as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, that is counterproductive. The wonderful news, though, the bright news, the great silver lining is that Walmart will be reopening at 7 a.m. That's right, 7 a.m. on the dot for all of your wonderful, fantabulous, amazing shopping needs. So as always, thank you for shopping at Wally World, better known as Walmart, and have a safe, blessed, joyous, and wonderful night. Thank you.